Hello and welcome to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, and it's part 2 of our Bring Back Max Power series, where we are continuing to look at the very first edition of Max Power magazine from May 1993. So why not grab a brew, a cold drink or a hot beverage and follow a read along with me. Why are we bringing back Max Power? Well, on July the 23rd, 2023, we'll be attending the Max Power reunion show at the Staffordshire County Showground in Stafford, where you can see many modified cars, many Max Power era cars, vans, DJ Richie Dawn, and much, much more. If you're interested in coming along to the Max Power reunion show, then why not have a look at the Max Power Reunion Show Instagram page and follow any links which will take you to areas to buy tickets for this event. Without much further ado, let's crack on with part 2 of looking at issue number 1. So we kick off this part with write-off. This is just the magazine readers writing into the magazine. But I think at the time these letters were just made up because this is issue 1. Next up we have an advert for Europe's leading car manufacturers agree with the F1 World Champion. So that's Champion Sparkbugs, and I'm guessing that's Nigel Mansell's Formula 1 car. I'm sure he won that in 1992, maybe? Next up, we move into Project RS Kicker. So this is Max Power's first project car, which is a Series 2 Escort RS Turbo. So let's check out the tech spec on this car. So it's got a power engineering system, 2-litre engine conversion, 1905cc with 88mm crankshaft and 83mm uprated alloy Mallet pistons. Compression ratio 9.55.1, fully gas flowed head with power engineering performance camshaft, detection Technique Superchip, Power Engineering stainless steel exhaust, system and manifold, and Mobile 1 lubrication. Transmission, it's got Power Engineering competition paddle clutch with a standard gearbox. Suspension wise, it's got Jamex Sportline springs and adjustable gas dampers. All round, and it's got a Power Engineering strut brace. Wheels and tyres are the 7x15" MIM Imola 5-spoke alloys with Yokohama 195/50/15 AVS Z-rated rubber. Brakes, it's got front Tarox groove discs with mild compound pads. Rear, it's got Mintex 171 competition shoes, braided brake lines with competition brake fluid. Bodywork and paint, it's got the Fibre Sports Escort Cosworth replica tailgate spoiler and rattlesnake front spoiler, Typhon twin headlamp conversion, and Creative FX graphics. Ice and security, it's got an Alpine 7525R CD cassette tuner, 2x2 Alpine 4-channel 355 60W amplifiers, 2 Alpine 10-inch subwoofers, custom made subwoofer cabinet. It's got 4 Alpine 6562 5.25-inch speakers with a separate tweeter, Alpine 5952Z 6-disc CD auto changer, Pran alarm and an engine immobiliser, and a Vectra immobiliser. Performance is 251 brake horsepower at 5000 RPM, 301 pounds-feet of torque at 3,800 RPM. And interior wise, it's got Cobra Daytona seats, Ripspeed window tinting, Tal Volante leather steering wheel, OMP drilled pedals, and a Fender alloy gear knob. Well, I think at the minute when we look at this car, is that it looks pretty standard. So maybe we're going to see this in the next edition of the car modified. So this is still with RS Kicker, the project car. It's chassis come home. So this is fitting front suspension to the car. And there's the rear suspension. As you can see, you can actually see some of the modifications on RS Kicker already. So you can sort of see the whale tail spoiler, the new wheels, new front bumper. And then we move over to only 4 hours to opening, nobody lost their bottle. So this is an advert for Autoglym. And we at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, we recommend Autoglym to anyone. We've used Autoglym in the past and continue to do so to this day. We have Greg's column. This is Greg Emerson's column. Before moving on to an advert for radar detectors. Then we have a feature for Ricketts Rockets. So this is Brian Ricketts Motorsport is to golf tuning what NASA is to space travel. Only expensive and a darn sight more practical. To me, a VW was a Beetle with a funny noise in the back. So what do BRM offer? So for a Golf Mark 1 1600cc, you can get a BRM 125, which is an 82.5mm bore, 86.4mm stroke, taken up to about 1847cc, rebuilt standard cylinder head, Mahle sports pistons, VAG crankshaft, modified ignition and fuel injection, and you've got 125 brake horsepower at 5,500 RPM. That would cost you back in 1993 £2,056. If you wanted the BRM 140, it's all above, but you also get a reprofiled head, inlet and exhaust manifolds, reprofiled exhaust valve seats, and valves plus a 276-degree sports camshaft. And that would take your power up to 140 brake horsepower at 5,500 RPM. That would cost you £2,467. What happens if you owned a Golf Mark 1 1800? You could take out the BRM 135, fully gas-flowed cylinder head, an inlet, exhaust manifolds, 276-degree camshaft, reprofiled inlet and exhaust valves, modified ignition and fuel injection. Your capacity basically stays at 1781cc, and for that you'd get power at 135 brake horsepower at 5,500 RPM, and that would cost you 1,586. Perhaps you want a wee bit more power, why not consider the BRM 142? So capacity is increased to 1870cc by boring out from 81mm to 83mm and retaining the standard stroke. Fully gas-flowed cylinder head and inlet exhaust manifolds, reprofiled inlet and exhaust valve seats, larger valves, 276-degree Schrick sports camshaft, larger bore block and pistons, modified ignition and fuel injection, fully balanced, you'd be getting 142 brake horsepower at 5,500 RPM, and torque is 150 pounds-feet of torque at 4,500 RPM. That would cost you 2,408. Perhaps you want the BRM 152. Capacity is increased to 1984cc for 82.5mm bore and 92.8mm stroke, plus a crankshaft from a new 16-valve Passat engine. Fully gas-flowed cylinder head and inlet and exhaust manifolds, reprofiled inlet and exhaust valves and seats. Neural sports pistons balanced with conrods, modified fuel injection and ignition. 210mm clutch pressure plate. Power 152 brake horsepower at 5,500 RPM. And that would cost you £3,055. So with details on how to get a 16 valve into a Mark 1 Golf, upgrades you would need, and BRM's impression of a 205 GTI is that they tipped the engine in with a wheelbarrow. Then we have an advert for the National Custom and Sports Car Show on the 17th and 18th of April 1993 at the Doncaster Exhibition Centre. I'm guessing this would later become the Doncaster Show. Before moving over to an advert for Spax Suspension for All. And we're going to finish this section of Bring Back Max Power with Get Out the Bleeding Way. Forget the Formula 1. 1993's British Touring Car Championship will be the race series to watch. No one knows which of the players will end up on top. So let's have a look at the touring cars of 1993. So, driving the Renault 19 16-valve will be Tim Harvey and Alan Menu. In the Vauxhall Cavalier, we have John Cleland and Jeff Allen. John Cleland being from Scotland and runs the Cleland's Volvo dealership down in Galashiels. But he's more known for racing the Vauxhall Cavalier. Then we have Will Hoy in the Toyota Carina E and Julian Bailey, Bailey as well. In the Ford Mondeo we have Andy Rouse and Paul Radish. In the Nissan Primera we have Keith O'Dore and Wynne Percy. In the Peugeot 405 MI16 we have Rob Gravitt and Eugene O'Brien. In the Mazda Zidos we have Patrick Watts. In the BMW 318 we have Steve Soper and Joachim Winkelhock. And other drivers to watch out for are David Leslie in the Vauxhall Cavalier, James Kay in the Toyota Carina E, Bobby Verdon Rowe in a Toyota Carina E. Privateers have got Ray Bellum in a 318 IS, Matt Neal, BMW 318 IS, David Pinkney, again in a BMW 318 IS, and Ian Cann in a Vauxhall Cavalier. And we finish part 2, continuing the British touring car theme with John Cleland and Jeff Allen with Mobile One Oils. Vauxhall and Mobile are reigning double champions, racing through British touring car battles to capture two prestigious crowns in 1992. They're the reigning champion manufacturer and the reigning champion team. Vauxhall recommend Mobile 1 for a Cavalier. It virtually eliminates wear of vital parts and gives engines unparalleled protection. Whatever Vauxhall you drive, Mobile 1 is your engine's champion. So, there we go. That is part 2 of our look at the May 1993 edition of Max Power magazine. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, and we'll be back with part 3 in a couple of days' time. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Farewell.